Hello there, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in to today's slot. The images you're looking at here are from a little trip that we've just been on to Mitchell's Fold Stone Circle. Through the trees now you should be able to just about make out that large hill, and our destination is just off to the right there, and the views up there are spectacular. Let's have a look. It's a very peaceful place. I mean, at the best of times when everything is normal, it's very, very peaceful up here. But today it's very, very, very peaceful. There's no sound of anything actually. What you tend to hear up here is tractors and farm equipment that's in the distance, bustling about. I'm not really sure why they wouldn't be operational today, but it's so very, very quiet. As you look out there, you can see for absolutely miles. And as we're looking at this scenery and also the stone circle, I'm going to read from one of my books that I wrote a while ago. Actually, when did I write it? The years just fly by, don't they? 2014. So the Mystic Path from 2014, and I've chose a chapter called The Principles of Light and Dark, because I think the concepts fit in quite nicely with the trip to Mitchell's Fold Stone Circle. It's all about balance, isn't it? A balance with nature. Okay, so if you're sitting comfortably, I will start to read and we'll see how we get on. And if there's any questions that you have regarding this particular video or other videos that I've done, just ask the question in the comments section underneath, and I'll be more than happy to answer. It's quite nice actually to have people chatting, exchanging experiences, etc. The principles of light and dark. The eternal battles between light and dark are echoed throughout literature and ancient history, as well as modern storytelling. From the Bible to Star Wars, the struggle between dark and light takes center stage. It is important to understand the interplay between these two opposing forces and the variations that exist between these forces if we are to proceed wisely on our spiritual journey. There are many confusing factors and many misunderstandings regarding this subject. The root of the confusion seems to be strengthened by a lack of understanding between that which we call natural darkness, that is found in Mother Nature, a force that balances and accomplishes equilibrium, and the darkness that comes from mankind, a force that accomplishes nothing other than destruction and serves the impulses of greed. What follows is a brief explanation regarding natural and unnatural darkness. These two very different forces are often grouped together as the same thing. In actual fact, they could not be more different. In truth, they are like oil and water and do not mix together at all. Natural darkness. Firstly, I would like to address the darkness found in nature and explore how this natural force finds a level ground with light in order for the greater whole to achieve harmony. When looking from a purely spiritual point of view, There really is no darkness in nature, only the light. What I mean to say is, whether dark or light, it is all of the light. This is because all things in nature spring from the light. In the interest of discussion, however, and the breaking down of nature's integral parts, let us look for and identify those things that, as human beings, we may perceive as light, and those things that we may perceive as dark. The light is easy to identify, for all anyone need do is open their eyes and gaze upon the natural world in all of its immense beauty, richness, and wonderment. When we experience the lush, green, rolling hills that adorn our landscape, the sweetness of the summer breeze, the delicate fine beauty written in the changing colours of the trees in autumn, the wisdom that is found in Mother Nature as the seasons close in winter, allowing life to rest and gather strength for the spring, the subtleties of life's energetic wheel forever turning to make anew, the heartfelt warmth of life regenerating in the spring, and then the long anticipated bloom back into summer, the changing landscape, along with the cycles recognised and adhered to by all of the wildlife, and the perfect symmetry that is found amongst these systems of natural balance, are all obviously of the light. When we talk of darkness in nature, we tend to focus on events that, from our perspective, appear destructive. Another example of balance regarding light and dark in nature is the rotating of the Earth on its axis, bathing the planet with equal amounts of sun and granting rest and healing through the night. Everything that exists on planet Earth relies on this daily cycle and the balance therein. This is a clear example of divine balance that relies on natural darkness just as much as it relies on light. Consider the buzzard that catches its prey and only takes that which it needs in order to live and thrive. Those animals lower on the food chain find a balance amongst their species regardless, and very often because of, the predator. Like water finding its own level, the forces of natural light and dark find a balance within the whole system and work to balance the energetic forces throughout the whole of the natural world. Nature accomplishes balance and equilibrium. Next section, unnatural darkness. And so we can clearly see there is such a thing as natural darkness, as natural as the night following dusk, bringing much needed peace and rest after the action of the day. There should be a hard line drawn between natural darkness and the darkness of man. Once these two separate entities have been explained, it should be entirely obvious they should never be spoken of in the same vein or tarred with the same brush. Bottom line, natural darkness mixes with light and unnatural darkness does not. Put yet another way, there is good darkness as found in nature, and then there is bad darkness as found in man's improper actions. Natural darkness comes from God, unnatural darkness comes from man. Although the mystic will work with natural light and natural dark alike, they will never attempt to work with unnatural darkness, for there can be no fruit from such interaction. There are those that do attempt to work with this bad darkness on an energetic level, but they are allowing their ego to lead and are unwise to do so. Those of the light do not attempt to mix with those of the dark. Darkness in man feels like an empty bottomless pit that attempts to suck light in. Such people can be felt at a distance by the mystic, and the true mystic will shut themselves down so that they become spiritually invisible to such persons. To give light to such people would be like pouring a beautiful rainbow down a dirty, filthy drain. Even though there can be felt a concentration of darkness in certain people, the darkness itself is not limited by restrictions and can move freely from one source of low energy to another. When referring to this bad energy on a large scale, it can be viewed as a powerful enemy of the light, or as I sometimes refer to it, the dark night of the soulless. The dark night could be referred to as the devil in Christian teachings, and goes under countless other names throughout spiritual and religious teachings. The dark night is responsible for all religious prejudice that has caused too many conflicts and wars throughout history. In summary, natural darkness and unnatural darkness are as oil and water, and do not mix together at all. The darkness of man does not mix with light. How are we getting on there? All right. I hope you enjoyed listening to that extract from the Mystic Path. Please ask questions in the comment section and we could have a bit of a discussion about it going on there. Well, until tomorrow, stay safe everyone, and above all, remain calm. See you next time.